Hey, what's going on? My name is Michael. You guys are watching IDB, and I always look forward to making these kind of iPhone tips and tricks videos. For a tech person like me, these tips and tricks always seem quite obvious, but you guys always seem to learn something new, and you guys always love these videos. So we have over 20 tips and tricks for your iPhone. Let's just go ahead and get started right now. The first few are for the keyboard. So if you ever try to move the cursor around your text field, you notice it is a little bit finicky if you try to do it with your finger and click on the actual text. You can make this a lot easier if you press and hold the spacebar on the keyboard. You can see it now turns into a trackpad, and this makes it much easier to move the cursor around your text. The next one for the keyboard is putting it into a one-handed mode. If you press and hold on the emoji key in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to notice we have two icons. Each one respectively is going to move the keyboard into a one-handed mode, which is going to make it a lot easier for typing one-handed. And the final one for the keyboard is what Apple calls Quick Path. Other third-party keyboards have had this for a long time, and it is pretty much swipe to type. So I feel like Apple's implementation of this is a lot better with their superior autocorrect. So you simply have to drag from one letter to the next, and this makes it a lot easier to type on your iPhone. The next tip is in the Photos application. If you ever take a photo of something that has text in it, you're able to copy the text right from the photo without doing anything. It doesn't matter if the text is a little bit out of focus. It doesn't matter if it's tilted a bit. You can simply press and hold right on the text in the photo, and you can copy and paste it just as if it was plain text. The next one is also for photos. Have you ever gone on a sort of photo shoot and you want to edit all of your photos to look the exact same way? Well, there is a feature in the Photos app that lets you do this. All you have to do is apply all of your edits to one photo, then go to the top right corner and click on Copy Edits. From there, you can select all of your other photos and then click on Paste Edits. And that way you can have all of your photos from that same day or same shoot look like they're edited in the same style. Next up is turning on Wi-Fi calling. Open up settings, go to phone, and make sure Wi-Fi calling is turned on. Most of the time, your Wi-Fi connection in your house or office or apartment is going to be a better connection than a regular cell tower. So if you have Wi-Fi calling turned on, your call quality is going to be a lot better when placing phone calls. The next two are for the home screen. At the very bottom of your home screen, you're going to notice a very small pill-shaped icon that says search. If you click on this, it's going to launch into Spotlight search on your iPhone. Many people are used to pulling down on their home screen to open Spotlight and don't know that you can simply tap on this little pill to open Spotlight instead. This is much faster than swiping, and it's how I access Spotlight every single day. On top of this, you can also use this little pill to swipe between all of your home screen pages. So if you have a lot of pages of applications and widgets, you can use this pill to swipe left or right to move in between all of your pages very quickly. Next up is using reachability. Reachability is going to bring the entire UI of your iPhone downwards on the screen in order to make it a lot more accessible with one hand. This is very useful for big iPhones. So if you have a Pro Max or the iPhone 14 Plus, it is a bit hard to use with one hand. So if you invoke reachability with a very small downward swipe at the bottom of your screen, it's going to bring everything down and make it a lot easier to touch. The next one is for Control Center. Many people know that you can quickly turn off Wi-Fi or Bluetooth from Control Center, but you can actually get even more functionality from this. If you press and hold on the connections platter in Control Center, from here you can either press and hold on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth in order to change your Wi-Fi network or your connected Bluetooth devices. The next few tips are for the camera. The first one is taking a burst mode photo in the camera. Now, many people don't know that you can still do this on the iPhone because the old way of taking a burst photo was by pressing and holding on the shutter button. And now when you press and hold on the shutter, it's going to record a quick take video. This functionality is still here in the camera, however. All you have to do is press and hold on the shutter while at the same time swipe your finger to the left. This is going to take a burst mode photo, and you can take as many as you want. This next one is kind of fun. You can take your photos with a filter already applied. So simply swipe up in the camera UI and then go over to the right a little bit and then click on the filters logo. From here, you can choose any filter you want to take your photos with. So for me, my favorite is either Vivid or Vivid Cool. I really like the way that these look. So if you always add a filter to your photos after you take it, this is simply removing one step in editing and applying the filter right away as you take the photo. The next one is choosing your photographic style. Now this one is pretty similar to a filter, however, it's doing a little bit more work on your photo in the background. This only works if you have an iPhone 13 or newer. So swipe up in the camera UI and click on the photographic styles icon. You'll see that we have a few different styles that we can choose from, and you get a real-time preview as to how it's going to make your photo look. So we have a rich contrast, vibrant, warm, and cool. And each one, as you can see at the bottom, can be modified, so you can change the tone and the warmth on your own. My personal favorite is vibrant. I find that this makes your photos look like more of a Samsung phone. And if you go over to rich contrast, I think this is more of the look that you get with a Google Pixel phone. So you can play around with all of these and even tweak each one and really fine tune the photographic style for your preference. The next one in the camera is one of those very obvious ones to me, but there are going to be people out there that don't know that you can do this in the camera. If you tap on the screen, you're able to choose your focus point. Many people know this, but you can also drag your finger up or down in order to change the exposure. This is really useful if you're taking a photo, for example, that's backlit. If you have a person in front of a window, you may want to bring the exposure up a little bit to see their face in case it's backlit. So all you have to do is tap on their face and then slide your finger up to bring up the exposure. Next up is inside of the calculator. If you have ever misclicked inside the calculator, most people think that you simply have to start over and clear everything and start from scratch. However, you can simply do a swipe from right to left in order to delete a digit in the calculator. The next one is for those of you who wake up to an alarm clock on your iPhone, so probably most of you. If you open up the clock application, click on your alarm of choice, and then click on sound. From here, you can actually choose to wake up to any song that you want in your Apple Music library. This is so much better than waking up to one of the annoying default sounds. You can choose to wake up to your favorite song ever, and it's just a much better way to start your day instead of an annoying alarm clock sound. And next up is for photos. You can actually search for a specific photo by a location. This is very useful because many people remember where they took a photo. They may not remember who was in the photo or when it was, but they do remember where they took it. So inside of photos, if you go up to search, you're able to type in any location and it's going to show you all the photos that were taken in that location. And you can also view it on a map as well. And the next one is not a tip per se, it's simply a suggestion from me. I would not recommend killing all of your applications in the background as you see me doing here. Doing this can actually ruin the battery life on your iPhone because when your iPhone has to launch an application from scratch, it actually has to do more on the processor to get the application up and running again. iPhones these days have good enough application management for the background where they can put them into a low power state, and then when you open up the application again, it doesn't have to do nearly as much effort to get the application loaded. So my recommendation is maybe to kill all of your apps one time at the end of the day, but you don't have to do it any more than that. Next up is for the Mail application. Open up Settings and then scroll down and click on Mail. Then scroll all the way down and click on Signature. This is probably the number one iPhone sin, is not changing your email signature. So if you don't change it, every time you send an email, it's going to say sent from my iPhone. So you can either choose to remove this or add your own signature to your email. The next one is inside of Safari. If you are one of those people that has a bunch of tabs open and you always find yourself swiping to close all of your tabs, there is a much easier way to do this. All you have to do is press and hold on the tabs icon and you'll see a button that says close all tabs. It's in red text, you can't miss it. Simply press on it and it's going to close all of your tabs in Safari much faster. And the final tip I have for this video, this one is very simple, but I think a lot of you are going to find this very handy. For those of you who use the flashlight inside of Control Center, you either think that the flashlight is either on or off. However, you can actually choose the brightness level of your flashlight. If you press and hold on the toggle, you can see that you have 4 different modes. So you have 25%, 50, 75%, and 100. So this can be very useful if you don't want to blind yourself in the middle of the night. If you're getting out of your bed, for example, you can simply set your flashlight down to 25% and it's much easier on the eyes. So that's going to do it. Those are all of the iPhone tips and tricks I have for you. Now you can impress your parents, your friends, your family with all of these features that you now know on your iPhone. If you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative or helpful, please drop us a like, as it does help us out quite a bit. If you have not subscribed yet, please do, as we do have a bunch of great content on the way. With all that said, my name is Michael. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.